Hi guys, you probably you may have seen a video I posted back in March of 2025 doing a review of the Checkmate Monitor from Steve Jones and Appy, the Kickstarter project. I did a very honest review of the monitor. I didn't sweep anything under the carpet. I was very honest about what I thought of it. I was very keen to point out the strengths of the monitor, of which there are many strengths, but I also didn't shy away from pointing out issues that I was having with the monitor. Most notably being the wiggle on the SCAR output of the monitor. Now, this has been an issue since we got the monitors earlier this year, 2025. There's an active Discord community which Steve and Appy are involved with, yeah, quite a few of us were having the same issue. Initially, it was thought that it was poor quality SCAR cables that was causing the issue. The SCAR cable that I had at the time wasn't brilliant. So I did go and I did order a premium gold-plated SCAR cable, which was about £45, but that didn't solve the issue either. So investigations were ongoing. Thankfully, Steve and Appy were able to diagnose the issue, what was causing the wiggle on the output. And I'm pleased to say a couple of weeks ago, myself and others received replacement scalar boards, which was just a case of removing the old and replacing with the new. And yeah, hey presto, that has completely resolved the issue. So yeah, I am pleased with this monitor, make no doubt about it. Yes, it's not the cheapest monitor in the world, but also how many other monitors can you buy where you can just upgrade it with modular upgrades? You can add things to it, you can plug multiple different things into it. It's designed with retro computers and alternative computers in mind. It fits the aesthetic of a lot of shall we say older, more vintage computers. So yeah, just to follow up really on my previous video, I'm pleased that everything is now sorted. This machine that I'm using, on my last video I was using an A1200. I've since got another Amiga, an A500 with a Pi Storm. Pleased to say that with the HDMI output on the Pi Storm, works absolutely fine. But yes, the SCAR is also absolutely fine. There's no wiggles on it whatsoever. So yeah, let's show you. So I'm now sat at my Amiga 500. I'm going to switch on, switch the power on. You get the nice Checkmate splash screen when you switch it on. It's on HDMI 1 already, because that is what I generally use my Amiga on. And I'll show you first of all the HDMI output. Just wait for it to boot up. It shouldn't take too long with this nice fast Pi Storm accelerator I've got installed. And there we go. Now, bearing in mind, this isn't, obviously this isn't HDMI direct out from the monitor, so you're not going to get a true image. However, if I zoom in, you'll see that, the quality is absolutely fine. There's no wiggling, the text and everything is very clear. I'll just remove it from the tripod so you can get a closer look. Yeah, any interference you can see, I can assure you, is not on the screen itself. That's just the iPhone picking that up. But yeah, everything is nice and clear. Let's open some windows so you can see a bit more. So yeah, everything is just brilliant. And on this screen mode as well, thanks to the Pi Storm, you know, the colours really pop. It's nice and sharp. What have we got? We've got 32 bits, 16 million colours at 1280 by 1024. Absolutely no problem at all on this monitor. Let's say for arguments, let's just open up some other applications actually first of all, just so you can get more an idea. And let's try Final Writer, just to give you an idea of how text and things look a bit better on here. Let's see if we can open a document. Open document. That's not really a document, but you can see the text. Obviously it's an Amiga, so you still haven't got anti-aliased fonts. You know, a monitor isn't going to alleviate that issue, but you know, it's certainly acceptable and a hell of a lot nicer on this monitor than we're used to on, say for example, the Commodore 1084S, where this screen mode would have been completely impossible to achieve, and also we either would have got the text to be very narrow due to the PAL screen mode, or if we were on the interlace modes it would have been flickering like crazy, giving us a headache. So we don't have to battle with any of those issues anymore, which is brilliant. Let's load up an image. What do we have here? That's a nice colourful one. So yeah, I mean, this is filmed off an iPhone, and it looks even better in person, but you can see how the colours really pop on this screen mode in particular. But yeah, you're probably thinking, yeah, well, you've got a Pi Storm, it's going to look fantastic. What about like traditional Amiga screen modes? Well, okay, I hear your comment. Let's load some traditional games in the other screen modes. We'll go to, let's see what games we have. Let's open up iGame. Oh, now this is where I get paralysed by choice and I don't really know what to... what should we go with? Should we go with Super Frog, since he's there already? Super Frog, where are you? I can probably just, there we go, type Super Frog. I'll double click that. Database files were updated. We'll skip that for now because I just want to show you it working. Now, obviously, this is now going to switch to the native output of the Amiga. So it's not going to show up on HDMI. So that to get that to show up once I click start, if I don't switch inputs, obviously nothing's going to happen because the game is loading on the native output. So that is very simple. It's just a case of using the supplied remote that comes with the Checkmate monitor and changing that to the correct input for SCAR, which is that one. And there we go. We're running PAL screen mode, and we get the sound as well. That's actually not showing up properly. That's a good start. That could be the game itself though. Oh no, we're getting that same issue again. That is strange. What I'm going to do is pause the video here. I'm going to get I'm going to reboot first of all, see if that solves the issue, and then I'm going to try and cold boot something in PAL screen mode from floppy disk and see if that makes a difference. I'll be back in a moment. Right, so what I did was I checked the SCAR cable at the back. I think it came a bit loose when I was moving the monitor around earlier, so that's something you need to be careful of, because it depends on how your SCAR cable's made. If you keep moving the monitor around, it might come loose and it could potentially damage the cable. So that's something to be careful of. Maybe if it doesn't need to be plugged in, just unplug it if you're going to turn the monitor, or just be very careful when you're turning it, and obviously check that it's always attached, otherwise you're going to get issues with your video. But yeah, that seems to have fixed it. It went through a period of not finding the signal. It kept saying no signal, but if that happens, it was just a case of resetting the scaler and just making sure that it's on the correct setting on here. I tend to find that 1280 by 720 is best. The only reason it's saying no signal now is the Amiga is switched off. But if I get an old school disc that's going to load into a PAL screen mode and pop it in the Amiga and fire it up, it should hopefully, when the Amiga comes to life, boot up, and we should get a nice traditional PAL display on the monitor. So we will just wait for it to load, and there we go. Got a PAL display. That's not an artifact there, that's just an actual cursor on the screen. And there we have it, Backdoor 2.81, the Ultimate Cheater's Guide in all its PAL glory. And you will see, unlike on the previous video, there is no wiggle on the display. It's all nice and straight and clear. The text looks good. So yeah, problem solved. Pleased with the monitor. If you've got the budget for it, I would recommend it. And particularly if you've got, like myself, if you've got more than one computer system that you want to use with it. For example, I've got my other Amiga, my 1200. I've also got an Atari ST, which I've used on it before. You've got obviously all the options to attach those to the monitor at the back, giving you that flexibility. So I hope you found this video useful and assuring if you had doubts initially due to the wiggling issue. As you can see, that is now completely resolved. And thanks again to Steve and Appy for delivering this great product.